Scott is with us to start off this hour. Hey, Scott, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for having me on.
Sure. What's up?
So I have a question about 529 plan for my child, putting money into that, or maxing out my Roth IRAs and retirements instead, because I'll be around age 62 when he's 18 going to college. So my thought is that I could just cash flow out of my retirement instead of doing the 529 plan. I didn't know if there's any advantages or disadvantages that I'm not thinking of.
Let me back up. Are you out of debt?
Yes.
House and everything?
Correct.
Way to go, dude. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How much is in your retirement account?
Right now I have about $400,000.
Cool. What's your paid-for house worth?
Probably around $200,000.
Good for you. You're doing great, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, so it almost is a matter of philosophy of life versus it's not a big deal mathematically. A 529 gross tax-free, a Roth IRA gross tax-free. All right, and so if money gets trapped in the 529 and isn't used, it wouldn't be trapped in the Roth IRA, and so it would have been good to have it over there. However, you can do both since you have no payments at all. I don't know why you couldn't max out your Roth IRAs and do some 529. Why can't you do both?
Let me back up then, I guess. So I'm maxing out my Roth IRA and maxing out my 457.
Right. And do his college. What do you make? What's your household income?
Around 80,000.
Oh, it starts to get pinchy. Okay. All right. Yeah. If the way I answer questions here, Scott, is what would I do if I woke up in your shoes? Okay. You're going to be a millionaire when this kid goes to school times a bunch, probably 2 or 3 million. So you're going to be fine. The kid's going to school. That's not in question. You're going to have the money, and you're going to have the money to retire. That's not in question. So what would I do? I was in a similar situation, I guess, at your age, and I chose to do some in the kid's college fund, but I didn't overfund it. And so even if you said, okay, I'm going to split the idea on this. I'm going to take 50% out of my money and pay for college, and I'm going to put 50% of what I think the college is going to be into the 529. And so the 529 is not enough. The way I'm talking about funding it, you've not funded it well enough to pay for college, but you're going to have millions of dollars over here, and you'll be 62, and you can access it in your Roth, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and there's something about saying kids' college, and then I don't have any money saved for kids' college directly with a label on it that just feels wrong down inside. And so I had kids' college funds in addition to building wealth and maxing out retirement when I was your age, dealing with a little bit more income than you're dealing with at that time. But I did all that. So yeah, I'm not. If I have to choose, I'm going to back off a little and say I'm going to put, I don't know, $500 a month, $6,000 a year into a 529, or even $3,000 a year, even $250 a month, and none of that really changes the equation. But there's something about the groove in your brain and the conversations around your kitchen table. This is your college fund. This is your college fund, versus got your college covered. It's over here in my retirement. There's something that changes in the household spirit.
What is that specifically?
I'm an old salesman, I guess, and it's the assumptive close.
Yeah. Kind of, this is what it's expected.
I always told my kids they have a college fund. This is your college fund. This is your college fund. This is your college fund, which assumes your butt's going to college.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought. Right. That's what I thought you were getting at. Yeah.
There's something in there with that, instead of like, oh, you got lots of options because there's money and whatever you want to do, Right. And it was just like, I believe in a 4-year education. I like education. I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's necessary to win, and I think it's overpriced right now in most places, and I think a lot of people study stupid stuff during that 4 years, and they need to stop doing that. But I'm not willing to go, all higher education is not worth it, like some people are saying. That's bull. You can make more in some cases being a welder.
Oh,
You can make
a
more,
lot
in some cases, being a diesel mechanic
Yeah.
than you can getting a degree in left-handed puppetry.
Yeah.
You know, and so
Yeah, I fall in the middle on that, as you know, but it's based on reality.
that's kind
Is
of
it
where
the
I am.
best
I'm in
way
the-
or the only way?
There's the only way you go get a 4-year degree is if you're studying something that's
Yep.
usable.
Yep.
I'm a utilitarian, pragmatic person in that regard. So, but I, you know, my youngest is 30, so it was a different world when I started saving for their college.
That's correct.
But in this world today, what would I do? I would have something. If you'd have asked me 4 years ago, I would have said fully fund college. So I have shifted.
Right. But as you've pointed out accurately, and I can attest to this, is what I'm seeing and reading every day and talking to callers on the phone on the Ken Coleman Show. Look, fact of the matter is that 529 can go towards certifications and other non-4-year degree things that are just as valuable for the kid.
You want to go get
So the point you're
maxed out on your
making is-
Microsoft certs so you can go into technology.
Yeah.
You can go that route
This
too.
is your future fund.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be traditional college. However, 529 pays for a lot of qualifications, and it is a good expectation to put out there. I think that's great.
Yeah, and it just there's something that says in our family. You know, how many people have you ever talked to that say, "My mom was a teacher, so our family valued education."
Yeah,
Kind
no
of a thing.
question.
And so I had to go. I felt like I needed to get an education, and that served that mentality serves you well. Versus you don't need to go to school. You just be one of them stuck-up college boys. You know, if you grew up in that house,
Right.
you know, then you have a different view on the power of
Yes,
knowledge.
That's right.
And knowledge is powerful.
It is. It is.
It opens doors. It causes your brain to reshape and see things you've never seen before and do things you've never done before.
Yes.
And what got you there won't get you here.
That's
what
key.
got you here won't get you there, or however you say it. If you had good knowledge, you could say that correctly. but you know,
That's right.
There,
You're setting an expectation that in order to do something, you're going to have to learn something and you're going to have to get some experience, and you need a plan for this. It's really what you're great at. It's really, I think, what you're really known for. You're a legend when it comes to when a plan works, it changes the game. And planning. And that's what you're putting a seed in the minds of their kids. There's a plan.
Yeah, you're putting a groove in your brain. This is the
Yeah.
way things are.
Yeah.
And you need to do it to yourself. You trick yourself into winning habits.
Yeah, that's right.
James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. I mean, same thing, right?